Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today. Apologies for my voice, it's kind of fucked up right now. I don't know what's going on. All I did was like a little cough, and now I'm like, my throat sounding like I smoked like 100 cigarettes. That's just whatever. But we are here, fight night time, with Reinier versus Brendan Allen. Honestly, this is actually a pretty solid card for a fight night, honestly. I'm actually quite surprised about it, and this is a stadium as well. Very glad about. We have actually got a decent amount of ranked opponents as far as like the top level guys go. It sucks that Anthony Hernandez had to pull off this fight against RDR because that would have been such a beautiful fight, man. That would have been such a good one. Brendan Allen stepping in isn't necessarily a bad fight. I do think it's going to be a competitive fight a little bit with RDR, but it's not as exciting as it once was when Anthony Hernandez was going to fight RDR. But we'll get into that when we get to the main event. What I'm here about is to give my full card predictions for this entire fight night. So without further ado and without my voice dying, let's get right into it. Alright, we have Marcel Corden versus Tirino Lopez. I have no clue who any of these two are. I'm gonna go with the lady who is not making her debut. I'm going with Tirina by decision. That's just how I am. Don't know anything about these two ladies. Alright, now we have Amzad Bakiev versus Yoshio Berikulu. I actually know who Amzad is. He's funny on Twitter. If you guys are like an MMA Twitter person, you know who I'm talking about. This guy's pretty funny. I'm going with him by TKO in round 2. I just feel like that he's looking good in his UFC run so far. I like how he fights. I like the fact that he's a wrestler, but he also has decent KO power, in my opinion. Like, he's pretty good, I'd say, with his power. I could see this go to a decision, but this guy has a lot of finishes, especially in his last 2 UFC fights. He has finished both guys in the first round, so I'm going with him by TKO in round 2, though. I don't think that he'll get in the first round, but I think round 2, I think he'll get it. Alright, next up we have Stefano Lucchino versus Ravilo Oliveira. I'm going to go with Stefano Lucchino by decision. Don't ask why. I just feel like, for one, her record's a bit better. She's 1-1, whereas Oliveira's literally 0-1, so that's just how I'll take it. I'll go with her by decision. Alright, next up, actually quite a surprising one of how low it is. Drew Dober versus Kyle Pekri-Polek. I'm actually surprised Drew Dober is this low on the prelims. Like, Drew Dober's a big name, like, and I'm so surprised they put him this low, but whatever, that's besides me. I'm going with Drew Dober by, honestly, TKO in round 2. I feel like Drew Dober will finally get back on the winning column. I don't think he's like too much of a threat when it comes to Drew Dober anywhere, really. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the wrestling, like, major wrestling threat. So I think Drew Dober will comfortably win this one, and I think he'll get it by a round 2 TKO. I think after the second round, Drew Dober will start to feel more comfortable with this guy, and he'll be able to rock him and finish him in the second round. Alright, next up we have Danny Barlovo versus Jordan Santos. Honestly, I actually was really looking forward to like Danny when he was rising up in the rankings, but I could just tell that this guy, bro, his defense is not good. He also is going up at middleweight, which I kind of don't get why. I mean, he's not that big of a welterweight, so he's gonna be much more undersized in this division. I think this is a terrible call for Danny Barlovo. I think that he might actually get finished in this fight. Yeah, so I don't think Danny Barlow going up to middleweight is a good idea at all. I honestly think I don't think he'll get finished the more I think about it. I think that it'll be a scrap somewhat because Jordan Santos' last fight against Ozzy Diaz was actually, like, they were throwing a lot of strikes. So I think that this will be a scrap, and I don't think Santos will finish him, but I can see it, though, because Danny did get finished his last fight. So I can very much see this happening now, especially now that he's going up to middleweight. And mind you, Danny is not that big of a welterweight. He does not look that big, so I don't know why he's doing this. I'm going to go with decision. I feel like Santos won't be able to finish him. I feel like Danny will be more hesitant because he just got finished his last fight. So I'm going to go with Jordan Santos by decision. Next up, we have Bruno Silva versus Hansuk Park. I am very interested in this fight. I feel like Hansuk Park was kind of fed to the wolves in his last fight, and that's not his fault. Like, literally, he wasn't supposed to even fight Tashiro Taira on, like, what, 2 to 3 days notice or something like that. It was ridiculous, and like before that he was doing quite good. He had 3 finishes before he fought Taira, and they were all in like the first or second round. I feel like this guy can do good in the UFC, and I feel like giving him Bruno Silva is a very easy fight. I don't think Bruno Silva has it in him anymore. I can see that we're starting to get to a decline with Bruno Silva. He's been fighting the wolves like Manel Kape and Joshua Van, but he just has not looked good at all in those fights. Like, he's gone like comfortably like demolished in both of those fights. So I don't think Bruno Silva will like really win this fight. I don't think he'll have a competitive fight. I couldn't see it because he does have the speed advantage on the feet. I will give Bruno Silva that. I feel like Hansu Park though, I feel like he'll get the job done. I don't think Hansu Park will finish Bruno Silva though. You need to either have the punching speed like Manel Cap or the volume like Joshua Van. So I don't think like Hansu Park has neither of them, but I think that he has like the better striking and especially the wrestling. I think he'll use that a lot. So I'm gonna go with Hansu Park by decision. All right, next up we have Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. This is the exact same type of story we've seen with Davy Grant so many times, guys. Young up-and-coming prospect against the old veteran like Davy Grant. And you know what? I feel like Davy Grant is going to win this one again. I feel like this fight is a lot closer than people are going to play it out to be. I feel like Charles Jourdain, there is a path for him to winning. Like, this was kind of tough for me to decide at first. I was going to go with Charles Jourdain, but I've been somewhat thinking, like, Davy Grant is like the prospect killer of the bantamweight division. Am I wrong on that? Like, the dude has 2 wins against 2 up-and-coming young guys in that division. He's kind of like the Neil Magny of like the bantamweight division. I don't know. Am I seeing that wrong? Like, I feel like Davy Grant is like the bantamweight like Neil Magny of this division. I don't see him finishing Charles Jourdain. Maybe he could because Charles Jourdain is coming down from featherweight. Mind you, he got finished in that division by Gene Silva. Take that as you will. But I don't think he'll finish him. I think Charles Jourdain will be smart enough to evade like a lot of like the threats, especially if he gets rocked. I feel like Charles Jourdain's like potentially best bet to win this fight is if he goes for a takedown and tries to submit Davy Grant. But Davy Grant's alright when it comes to takedown defense. I feel at least, you know. So I'm going to go with Davy Grant by decision. I honestly feel like we could have an upset right here. Another one by Davy Grant. Like, is it even an upset by this point for Davy Grant to beat young guys? Alright, next up we have a banger fight. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. I'm going with Matt Frevola by KO. I believe in Matt Frevola winning this fight. Now, he has lost a lot of fights recently against BSD and Ziam. He has lost a lot of fights, and they've been by finish. Let's not forget that. But this guy, Matt Frevola, has been fed to the wolves throughout his entire career. Like, he has fought much better opponents compared to Kyle Nelson. Like, let's look. Zom, BSD, Dober, Terrence McKinney, Armin Sarukian. Like, come on now. Jalen Turner, when Jalen Turner was actually quite good. Like, Matt Frevola has fought way tougher opponents compared to Kyle Nelson. Like, Kyle Nelson's, like, toughest fight in, like, what, his last 10 or 9 was actually his last fight against Steve Garcia, I would say. And he got knocked out in the first round. Mind you, now, Steve Garcia does have, like, knockout power in that division. So, you know, that is that. But I feel like Matt Frevola... And I feel like Matt Frevola wants to get a win back. Like, this dude wants to win because he's on a 2-fight losing streak. And I feel like he's hungry for that win compared to Kyle Nelson. I don't know. That's just me personally. I'm going for Matt Frevola by KO in round 1. I'm going to go with that. Alright, next up we have Cody Gibson versus Ari Klin. Man, I don't know why this fight's so high up here. I don't understand that, but whatever. I'm going with Cody Gibson. I just feel like Cody Gibson has fought better opponents. Like, it's kind of hard for me to say. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I trust Cody Gibson. I don't know too much about these guys, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't know much. I'm just leaning towards Cody Gibson because I do know that he has been fighting for a lot longer. I feel like the experience will also play a factor into it. As far as like fighting UFC caliber fighters, I feel like Cody Gibson will have this in the bag. So I'm going to go with him by decision. Alright, next up we have Manam Front versus Jamzi Jasudjoviches. I'm trying to say these names, guys. Just give me a break. This is a kind of a tough one, but I'm going with Fiorot. I just feel like her performance against Valentino wasn't the worst performance I've ever seen. It was absolutely boring, but like performance-wise, like technical-wise, how'd she do? It wasn't the worst I've ever seen against an opponent who has fought Valentino. I feel like that she will be able to get this. I feel like on the feet, she does have the advantage. I mean, I could see like maybe Jamzi winning this because I feel like Jamzi could potentially get the win here because she is on a momentum, I would say. But I feel like Fiorot will be able to show like the experience of her because I feel like Fiorot has fought a lot better opponents compared to like Jamzi. I mean, she fought Blanchfield, Rose Namajunas. That's my biggest factor when it comes to this. I don't know. I feel like that she could potentially like win this fight, and I'm gonna go with her. I'm gonna go with her by decision. I could see Jamsey though winning this. Like, this is kind of a close fight. Alright, next up, Marlon Vera versus Ariel Helwani. Listen, I'm literally going to make a video about Ariel Helwani and why he's like one of the most like confusing prospects coming up. This guy's 38 years old and he's an up and coming prospect. This guy is on the 6-fight winning streak. What are we doing? Marlon Vera, you have to beat this guy. And I'm going with Marlon Vera by decision. I don't think he'll finish him. Like, Ariel Helwani has completely shown to me that, like, he has a tough chin. I mean, that kick that he ate against Jose Aldo makes me just, like, amazed. Like, he has a good chin. I will give that to him. Before, he never really had a good chin. But all of a sudden, now that he's on, like, a 6-fight winning streak, he has an amazing chin. Whatever. I'm going with Marlon Vera by decision. I need Marlon Vera to win this. I cannot have an almost 40-year-old prospect rising in that division. Could you imagine that this guy somehow flukes his way to a belt? I mean, Merab's gonna be fighting everybody in this division now. At this pace that Merab's fighting, like 4 title fights a year, at this pace, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So I need Marlon Vera to win this. I cannot live in a world where Ariel Helwani fights Merab Dvalishvili. That's disgusting in my opinion. Marlon Vera, you better beat this guy. Alright, next up we have Kevin Holland versus Mike Mala. I'm going with Kevin Holland. I don't trust Kevin Holland at all. You know, this guy is absolutely dog shit at how he fights, and he's just shit, right? But, like, I don't really trust Mike Mala anymore, honestly. Like, the fact that this guy got fraud checked by Neil Magny, I'm sorry, I just can't trust that. I slightly lean towards Kevin Holland when it comes to the trusting spectrum more than I do with Mike Mala at this point. You can't just get fraud checked like that against Neil Magny. He was literally about to win that fight before 20 seconds when he got finished. It's unbelievable. Kevin Holland is shit. He is shit. Do not get me wrong. He lost to Daniel Rodriguez by 45-70. It was terrible by Kevin Holland. So I just know that I could see Kevin Holland fumbling this as well, but I just lean towards I could see Kevin Holland fumbling this really badly, but I trust him a little bit more than I do with Mike Mala. Alright, now we are at the main event with my GOAT, RDR versus Brendan Allen. I'm going with RDR by decision. I feel like that he won't be able to finish Brendan Allen because apart from Bo Nickel, he does not have a heart in him to actually have a good fight. Yes, he was getting hit by 20 knees, but Robert Whittaker got hit by 40 of them and still kept fighting the absolute Chad he is. So I don't trust, I don't think that RDR will be able to finish Brendan Allen when it comes to defeat. And I also don't think that he'll be able to submit him because unlike the other guys that RDR has fought, Brendan Allen actually knows how to grapple. He actually has good jiu-jitsu and takedown defense and wrestling in general. Brendan Allen had a better performance against Imavov than Kyle Barajo did. Let that sink in just for a second. Brendan Allen had a better performance. It's unbelievable. But no, Brendan Allen does have good wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and he also had a decent fight against Anthony Hernandez. Lost the fight quite clearly, but he was able to hold his own for a little bit, so you gotta give him props to that at least. I still don't think that he'll beat RDR. I think RDR is probably one of the better guys in this division. This sucks, honestly. I wish we got RDR versus Anthony, because that would have been such a more interesting fight. I don't think Brendan Allen will be able to beat RDR. It will be a tough fight for RDR, don't get me wrong. I think this will be as tough as it was against Robert Whittaker, but I don't think Brendan Allen will be able to I don't think that Brendan Allen will show anything significant enough to actually be the better fighter of these two. I think RDR is better on the feet. I think RDR has also the knees. We do have to factor that in. Even though I just said that he won't be able to finish him with the knees do affect a fighter. That does have to be stated. And who knows, maybe RDR can go out there and actually impress us by his grappling. RDR has good grappling, but I don't think it'll be enough to overstop Brendan Allen's grappling. I don't think it'll be able to do that. I think that it'll mostly be on the feet, and I think RDR will have the advantage when it comes to it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with RDR by exciting decision. But guys, that is my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night, Reinier Day Ryder versus Brendan Allen. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Do you agree with some of these takes? Do you not? Let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video.